Welcome to the Elevating Funeral Service podcast. If you want to run a successful funeral home, cemetery, or pet cremation service, you don't have to be the one that has the lowest price. You do need to be the one that offers the most value, provides the best customer experience, and clearly communicates that in your marketing. On this weekly podcast, Ellery and Welton will show easy ways to demonstrate value to families and create differentiation that helps you stand out from the competition. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Elevating Funeral Service. I'm your host, Ellery Bowker. I'm with my co-host, Welton Hong. This is the podcast where we talk about funeral homes standing out from the competition and doing so by creating more value, improving the customer experience, and communicating that in their marketing. Today, we're definitely going to be talking about how to stand out from the competition, and because we're going to be talking about online reviews. I've got with me one of the experts about online reviews in the funeral business, and what we're going to do is discuss a couple of different things over 3 episodes. The first episode, we're going to talk about the importance of getting online reviews, and while that may seem painfully obvious, I think you'll be able to get some insights in this episode. Next week, we're going to talk about what to do if you get a bad review, and if you're serving enough families, you're certainly going to get one. And there is 100% the right way and the wrong way to handle that. And we're going to go through a framework that Welton has created next week on exactly how to handle that to get the best results. And then the last week, we're going to talk about how to take some of these hundreds or even thousands of happy families that you serve, the ones that hug you after the service is over with, and get them to take action and go online and actually leave you a review so that it can help you with all the benefits that we're going to talk about now. So, Welton, how are you doing?
Good. Got a haircut. My wife.
Your wife gave you the haircut?
For me over the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm definitely losing my hair these days. Yeah.
I had to get a bootleg haircut. I had to meet my lady in a back alley, you know. But I had to break the rules and do that, or I'd edit this video a little bit. So, well, let's dive right into this thing. Online reviews are obviously at the forefront of everyone's mind, right? Big funeral homes, small funeral homes, everyone's looking at their reviews saying, how do I get more? How do I get rid of the negative ones, et cetera? So I think this is a really timely topic. On this first episode, let's really kind of dive in to what is going to seem obvious, but why are reviews important for funeral homes? So I thought what we might do is break this down into 3 things. We'll talk about kind of the really big reasons why. Then we'll talk about kind of what consumers might look for in a review, and then the benefits for that funeral home, because I think there are really 3 big benefits. So why don't we kick it off? You had said something about that I thought was pretty profound when we were talking about setting this up, about how reviews are important even if they're not undecided families. So why don't you go ahead and start talking about that?
Yeah. So very interesting here is many of you, they already know who you are because you guys are very involved in the community. Could be a referral. They already know you. And very often, if they need your services, they are just going to Google your brand name. Or they saw one of your church bulletin, or simply just referral. Very often, offline traffic, they go online. They go on Google, simply typing your brand name, just to look up your phone number, or just to go on your website. But what really stands out these days, if you look at a Google search, is reviews. So over here, if I Googled Ferdinand Funeral Homes and Crematory, their funeral home in Miami, on the right-hand side, this is called the Knowledge panel. You will see Google reviews. It sticks out. So for Ferdinand, it's 5 stars, 70 Google reviews.
Well, let me stop you for 1 second. For those of you that are listening, what he's describing here, I'll sportscast this, is he's got Google search results up. He typed in the funeral home name. He's basically just, you know the brand, you're looking up the phone number. When you Google them, the right-hand panel is going to have all the information, right? Your images, your website, et cetera. And the one thing he's pointing out is just that the Google reviews just stand out more than anything else on the right-hand side. So.
Right. Then on the left-hand side, there's natural search, organic search results. You will see Yelp listing and Facebook listings that show up just on a natural search result. And the reviews stick out again. For Ferdinand, they have 5-star rating, 6 reviews. On Facebook, it sticks out again. 4.8 stars, 17 votes.
Does Yelp and Facebook generally elevate to the top of the organic results like that?
Do.
So in one snapshot here, you're going to see reviews or the summary of reviews from all 3 major providers, right? Google, Yelp, and Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very interesting, even as a referral, very, very strong referral. You're like, hey, you should probably talk to Ferdinand Funeral Home to look into pre-needs, pre-plan your funeral. When they Google you, they see, wow, look at Ferdinand, my friend, right, refer me to a very, very good funeral home because they saw all these 5 stars that showed up on here. But if Ferdinand has like quite a bit of negative reviews on Yelp, for example, and they're like, hey, people in my area, which could be true, people in their area, they don't use Yelp, but that 1 or 2 negative reviews pull down your overall ratings. But when they search for you, that Yelp overall star ratings just shows up right at the top of Google search. So easy homework is, for those of you, if you're not driving, just simply Google your own funeral home. Really is a good homework. Just Google your own funeral home and see what reviews sites shows up on first page of Google. Typically, you will see Google reviews on the right-hand side. Natural search, you'll see Yelp and Facebook.
Yeah, interesting. The opposite effect could happen. So if you're referred offline, you see a billboard, you see a, church bulletin or somebody refers it, and then they go there to find your phone number and they see negative reviews, right? They could turn right around, right? They could say, oh, well, let me pass on that one.
All right.
I think, so that's definitely a real big reason why reviews are important. And I think another reason is just the number of undecided families is going up. I think that if you look at any town in America, there are more people living in that town that are not from that town than any other time in history, which means that the pool of undecided families is going to continue to grow and grow, which means the reviews are going to become more important because by and large, reviews are just a filter for undecided families, right? They don't know who else to look for. They don't know what to ask. So they're going to start with the reviews. I think they're critical because consumers trust them. I think they trust them more than they trust their friends. If my brother recommends me to go to a resort or a hotel or a restaurant, I'm going to take his recommendation, but I'm also going to look them up online to read the reviews. And so I think the ultimate thing is that it could literally be the difference between you getting the call and you not getting the call.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they could either block you or help you.
Oh, yeah. And Ellie, also on my screen, just for fun, for undecided family, they're going to go on Google and they might type in funeral home near me. They might type in Miami funeral homes. And in local search results, Google will only show 3 of the best, I do air quotations, 3 of the best funeral homes.
By reviews?
By reviews and by also some other ranking factors. But reviews do account for 30% of the search engine ranking.
Right, because ultimately the consumer here, the ones that are leaving the reviews, is helping Google do their job, right? They're helping Google, they're voting.
Yeah.
So they're helping Google say, these are the best people in the area. Right. What he's showing on the screen right now is there's 3 funeral homes, and one has 75-star reviews, one has 240 reviews, another one has 44 reviews. So instantly you can tell that these are active funeral homes, right? People are going to them, they're leaving reviews, and then you can kind of dive in to see what the details are. That's very interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what do consumers look for in reviews, Welton?
I think they're looking for overall star ratings.
Okay.
They're looking for quantity as well, right? Quantity
and quality.
Right.
Right. Because 5 stars doesn't mean anything if there's only 2 reviews.
That's right. And sometimes having like a lot also sometimes might seem unbelievable as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting there. Yeah, I think it's like when you do a survey of 10 people, you can get a sampling and you can get a percentage, but it's not going to mean anything unless there's a big enough sample. So I think the one thing too that matters is freshness, right? Like how soon, what's the most recent review?
Yeah.
I've seen them before where they've got great reviews, but it's 2 years ago. Well, I don't even know if the same people own the business anymore, right? Lots can happen in 2 years. Well, do this well. Could you talk specifically then about how they help the search ranking? Because, the search is just this big mystery, right? I mean, even the people that do it for a living, the algorithms change 20 times a day. But how much does the reviews play in the organic search rankings?
Right. So as far as ranking goes, you will see over here in local search results, Google show 3 of the most and the best funeral homes. And of course, there's a lot of ranking juices that goes around with this, but the major ranking factor, and this guarantee will be going on forever, it will be more and more important, is going to be reviews.
Yeah, they're not going away.
No, because there's no way Google is going to promote a subpar business. Right. Here and there, you will still see, oh, wow, why would Google promote a 3-star business? But that is less and less these days. As more people use Google and actually leave reviews on Google, Google is putting more focus on the actual overall quantity and quality of these reviews.
Right.
It's going to give those who have more quantity and quality and have them show up in local search first. It doesn't mean they will not show up in other places, but these 3 map listings, it's really heavily weighted on just number of quality and quantity of reviews.
Yeah, I think one good thing to remember, is that Google is just not a search engine; it's an answer engine, right?
Yeah.
And if I ask it a question, it's going to give me what Google thinks is the best result.
Yeah.
And so it's in Google's best interest to understand these reviews and to deliver you the best result. Because if Google stops giving me good results, ones that are relevant to me, I'm going to stop using it.
Yeah.
Right? So their entire existence is dependent upon them giving you results that are good. So the reviews come full circle because you leave them. It helps you get better results, helps other people get better results, et cetera, helps Google do their job better. Mm-hmm. The one thing for me that I always noticed is that the funeral business is becoming very, very competitive, right? I mean, this podcast was how can funeral homes stand out, right? How can they elevate their business to stand out from the competition? I think reviews give a smaller firm a great opportunity to compete against the bigger firm, because nowhere on that Google search result did it show the volume of that firm. Didn't show how big the building was, didn't say how many cars they own, didn't say how many directors they had, just showed the number of reviews. Mm-hmm. So I think if you are a scrappy firm, you do a good job, you make families happy, and you talk them into giving you reviews, right, in a nice, gentle way, you could absolutely compete against the big guys on the bigger firms just based upon those reviews. It can also reduce your marketing budget, because if you're getting a lot of reviews organically, then you're paying less, right? Like anybody can be at the top at Google and the paid if they want to pay enough, but the better you are and the more reviews you're going to get, then that's going to lower your acquisition cost, right? It's going to drive that down. So, and one other thing I wanted to mention, I know you and I talked about this before, is reviews give the owner feedback if they'll read it, right? If they'll look at it. And the one thing I always think about is that if I'm going to buy something on Amazon, for example, and I pull it up and I kind of think about it like a histogram, right? If it kind of looks like there's all 4 and 5s and then there's, maybe a 3, a 2, and a 1. I just really, to me, it's just a snapshot. It's like, okay, all right. If there's 400 reviews and they're all 4 and 5 stars, there's a couple little negative ones, whatever. I'm like, okay, I trust it, right? I mean, it's me. Like overall, the crowd has spoken and they all said it was good. Now, unless I'm looking for some specific detail, I'm probably not even going to read them.
No.
What do you think?
Yeah, I was actually looking for oven mittens over the weekend. Okay. Went on Amazon, type in oven mittens, and I don't. It's like very, very fast decisions. Yeah. Whichever one has the most reviews, the most quantity. One has like 3,000, and the other one has like 1,000. The second place. I went into the 3,000 ones, scan it. I really just look at it, scan it. Majority of reviews are good. Hit purchase. Done. I'm out.
Yeah. I was looking for a backpack a while ago, and I looked up one. It was this nice backpack. It was kind of expensive, but so I saw it, and everybody said it was good. But I also wanted to know, will it stand up on its own? Like I hate a backpack that falls over. I know it's petty, but if I put a backpack on the floor, I want it to stand up. So I just went in there and I kind of did Control F, and I said, "Well, stand up on its own." And a bunch of people had mentioned it, so they're fantastic. I think one thing that people are going to be looking for on the funeral home reviews. How the staff treated them, how was the price, did they take care of them, et cetera. So not only I think can they elevate you in the search rankings, but I think they can give comfort and confidence to the people that are going to consider choosing your firm. Next week, we're going to talk about what to do if you get a negative review. And I'm going to give you a little tease right now that it's not the end of the world, okay? If you get one, there's a right way and a wrong way to handle it. but kind of talking about the quantity and the quality. I'll tell you a real quick analogy that I've told some funeral directors before. Think about if you have one or two negative reviews, the impact that could have on you with an undecided family, versus having a bunch of reviews and then a few negative ones. Let me explain. Let's say that you go into a bank. If you look at your reviews like a credit report, and let's say you go into your bank and you want to borrow money and you have 2 old unpaid negative things on your credit report. That's all you have.
Right.
And you want to borrow money. The banker is going to say, you can leave, right? You're not going to get the loan. But if you go into the bank and they pull your credit report and you have 1 or 2 old negative things, but then you have 50 accounts that you've never missed a payment on, right? They're perfect. They're all close to perfect.
Oh, yeah.
The banker's going to look at those 2 old negative things and say, who cares? Right? Yeah. Who cares? By and large, you're a great guy. You pay your bills, your credit's fine. Yeah. I think people look at reviews the same way.
Same thing.
Yeah. So next week, we're going to talk about what to do with those negative ones, right? And then we're going to talk about how to get more on the last episode so that you can kind of outweigh that. Nobody cares if you have 1 or 2 negative reviews, if you've got a bunch of positive ones to outweigh that. If all you have is 1 or 2 negative reviews, your business is severely going to be impacted by those reviews, because people do trust them. And if you don't believe me, think about the way you do your own shopping, right? The way you do your own research. What would you do? Would you call a funeral home if there were other options? Right? And with better reviews, and there was one with 1 or 2 negative reviews only, or just 1 or 2 even positive reviews compared to somebody with 30 or 40 positive ones, right? It's just that snapshot and kind of lets that consumer go to the next step or not.
Exactly. Yeah. And also a couple of insights here is typically the larger the ticket size, the more they're going to be doing the homework.
Yeah, good point.
And also the longer the decision-making time, such as pre-needs, pre-planning, they got a lot more time. They're going to be checking you out as well. So typically it's very high ticket. If say 10,000 funeral home, $10,000 service, they're going to check you out, guaranteed. Right? It's a big purchase. They're going to check you out just to get a second opinion whether you're a good firm or not.
Yeah. That's really, really good point. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, this has been good. Again, this was just a short one. We said a lot of stuff that was pretty obvious, of course. But so again, this episode we'll talk about why they're important. Next week, we'll get into what to do with the negative one. And the last week, we're going to talk about how to get more, which is we've got some really, really good ideas on how to do that. So if you guys found value in this, if you wouldn't mind leaving us a review on your favorite podcast app, that helps others find out about us. And Welton and I are pretty easy to find. But if you have any questions or feedback or anything like that for us, please reach out to us. So until next time, see you guys. Bye.
Bye.